can hear me, and I wanted to just give you a little bit of an intro before we get started so you can hop in, everybody can join in and get this tutorial done tonight. So, welcome. I'm Terry Marshall, those of you that don't know me, and this is Terry's Creation Station, and we are here to make a pumpkin door hanger. So, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. And Jace, it's my bedtime. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're going to go through this. I'm going to give you a couple of options. David's over there monitoring the comments. I can see a few of them up here, but I won't be paying that much attention to them. But if you have a question, post it in the comments and David will answer it for you or ask me. Okay? Sound like a good idea? All right, you ready? Let's go. This was an idea that I dreamed up the other night, and I think you're going to love it. So, you can go to Hobby Lobby and purchase, let me make sure I can see, all aboard, here we go, the Terry train. So, these pumpkins are at Hobby Lobby, and they're just wood pumpkins that you can get to paint, right? And they are $9.99. But I think the fall stuff is 40% off right now, so you can get that as at a discount. Now, here's what you do. Buy this, or you can even make your own pattern. But I decided, I had already bought this, so I decided to just use it as a pattern. And I took some white bulletin board paper. Let me get this little view. This is just bulletin board paper. It comes in a roll, and I use it for a lot of my patterns. You can also draw a pattern on a transparency, and if you have a overhead projector, which I do, you can trace the whatever shape you want and then project it onto the wall and draw it that way and then cut it out. So that's another option if you want a different shape. I've done bunnies and all kind of things that way. But this is the pumpkin that I traced out, okay? Now, once I did that, I don't really need my, I'm going to save this for another project and we'll do something with that another day. So let me put that aside. Now, go to Hobby Lobby or someplace that has fabric. Here in Shreveport, our fabric selections are very limited right now because our Hancock Fabric went out of business. And so we weren't able to get any fabric over here. But Hobby Lobby has it, and so does Joann. These are just some fabrics that I picked up. This is a Halloween print, and you can see it's burlap, and it's got, you know, different Subway kind of prints on it. So you're going to need some burlap. We're going to do two different ones tonight, one Halloween and one fall. Here was another one that I found that was just gold dots, which I think were really nice. And the one I really loved was this orange glittered kind of dot. These are all burlap. So you can just get, you're going to need about 3/4 of a yard to do this project. Okay? So those are the options on the ones that I have picked out. I went ahead and cut out my pumpkin, and I just laid down my pattern and then just cut it out, traced it, you know, cut it out. I didn't trace it again, but I just cut it out using the pattern. And then I also cut just a solid for the back. You can use any color. I decided not to reuse this because it's a little more pricey than this one. So that's the one I'm going to use for my back, okay? So that's going to be one. And then we're going to do the Halloween one. So let me show you how we did it. how I did it. I keep saying we. Was nobody in here doing this with me today? All right, I'm going to just lay this pattern out. And it doesn't matter where you put it. But if you want to get the most out of your fabric, you make sure you place it so that it get the most out of it. Now, you don't even have to know how to sew to do this, okay? Maybe some of you are already saying, I don't know how to sew. Well, you don't have to know how. This is not a sewing project. If you can glue, you can do this, okay? I had started the live earlier and had all my equipment done, and my cameras timed out, so that was, all of them had to be restarted, which is fun. Okay, so I'm just going around and cutting. I'm going to go ahead and get this big piece off the work table. Make sure you can hear me and see. So we're just going to cut this pattern out. Use your imagination on your shapes. You could do really anything for any season, a Christmas tree, or I know at Easter I did some bunnies. Here's the stem. You know burlap's really hard to cut too, so don't use your good scissors. Use some that are less expensive. Well, I have some scissors that are in my silver case. I don't even think David knows where they are. I don't tell anybody. And those are my fabric scissors. Don't dare touch my scissors. See the kids out in the yard cutting down limbs or something. Anybody had that happen? Can I get a witness? So I'm all excited about fall. Just wish the weather would turn a little cooler. Okay, so we've got that done. And if you're doing multiple ones, you know you can fold the fabric over and do two at once, so you can save some time. So if you're doing multiple projects, then that's always an option. Okay, so I went ahead and cut out the orange one to go behind the Halloween print. Okay. Don't get too excited about the fact that they're not exact. You know how burlap will kind of move on you. It's got a lot of give in it, in the fabric itself. So we don't need our pattern anymore. Just put that aside. So we have our two pumpkin shapes. And the reason I'm doing two is I want to show you two different methods in doing these. Okay? All right, next part. We're going to put this aside for just a second. Now, don't get too overexcited about this next part. This is called Pellon. Let me get a little bit closer. This is called Pellon Double-Sided Fusible Ultra Firm Stabilizer. And I'm going to put this in the description of our video tonight so you'll have it. But it's Pellon Peltex Double-Sided Fusible Ultra Firm Stabilizer. It also has the directions right here on how to use it. Okay, so that's a nice feature. It comes by the yard. I use this in quite a few of the projects that I do, door hangers and such. So I went ahead and got, I think, a couple of yards of that. Hobby Lobby will have it. Any of your fabric stores will also have it. Okie doke. Okay. We need to cut a pattern of the pumpkin. And I just threw the pattern over there, but you can, I've already cut one. So let's just use this one to cut the next one. Okay. So I'm just going to pin it down because it's trying to curl up a little bit. Now, what makes this wonderful, this Pellon stabilizer, is it's fusible, meaning when you put heat to this, it is going to adhere to whatever it is you're putting it in between. So we're going to make a sandwich. We're going to make our pumpkin sandwich. And use this to make the back stiff. Because we don't want the pumpkin kind of flopping around. This gives it a lot of stability. Okay. Let me get rid of that. If you have a heat press machine, some of you do, it works really well. That's what I like to use, but you can, the directions tell you to use an iron. And you can use an iron, and you have to put it on the wool setting. All those directions are right there on that piece of paper that comes with your stabilizer. And it will tell you exactly how to set your temperature on your iron. And am I saying that funny? Iron?
Iron.
Iron. How do y'all say iron?
Where are you from?
Well, you know, I don't iron much.
You still own an iron?
I've got 2 or 3. But I don't use them for clothes. I don't think many people do anymore. Okay, so that was easy. Just cut that stabilizer out. And it's pretty thick, which is what we want. We want it to be able to give it some body. Y'all are going to get addicted to these little door hangers. They're so fun to do. And you can give them as gifts or list them on your Etsy store. And they're very easy to make, and you can fly through them pretty quickly.
Jace just said, I want to make a door hanger now.
Yeah, I know.
He's already pumped.
Okay, so that's what we've done so far. Let's get to building our pumpkins. So we have our Halloween version. And I'm going to get David to plug in my iron. Plug it in that floor plug, because otherwise it'll blow my circuit. So the directions say on the Pellon to put the iron on a wool setting. So you're going to need it on a wool setting. We're making a sandwich. Use a gliding motion and slight pressure. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and do what they say. We're going to make a sandwich. David's probably going to say, I'm hungry. And just kind of match up your edges. Don't be too freaked out that they don't match exactly, okay? Don't be worried about it. Leanne says she has fabric scissors as well. And of course, when her son was younger, he had a project and grabbed them. Oh my goodness, I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me with 3 sons. Those rascals had my really good scissors. Y'all, those things are not cheap. And if you cut paper with them, they're going to get dull. And that was cause for, whippings, grounding, taking away privileges, lots of other fun things. Okay, so we're gonna get this real hot on our setting on our iron. And we're gonna apply some pressure. And the reason I like using my heat press is it's all in one step. I can just put that in there and it'll stiffen it up all at once, and I just push it down. So you're having to give it a little bit of pressure, just pushing down on your iron because you want that, and I really want to do this on dry heat. So I'm going to turn off my steam setting. So once you start pressing on this, it's going to adhere. That fusible interfacing is going to adhere to your fabric. And just give it a little bit of pressure so that it can make your sandwich. Right? We're making a sandwich. See, this is a no-sew project. No steam, Ellen. I turned the steam off. Okay? It's just dry heat. Now, don't be too worried that it's not matching up exactly with the fusible interfacing. I'm going to trim it here in a bit. These are fun to do. And really could almost be a project, you know, you could do with grandkids or a ladies group. Get some people together for a crafting night. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over and do the same thing on the other side. Now you're going to find in Terry's Creation Station, we're going to do some different projects. It's not going to always be floral. It's going to be things like this, projects that you can do to complement your business or to use for your Etsy stores, another sort of something different. Just be a little different.
You made a door hanger just the other night for a customer, didn't you?
I did. It's hanging over there on the door.
Can I show it to them?
Yeah, I'll have to change my camera. That's fine. This was I think I posted it in the group, a door hanger for a baby's room. And one thing I like to do about baby stuff is make it so they can use it in their room after the hospital. Isn't that cute? And I used my embroidery machine to personalize it. She wanted shabby chic, so I did all those things at the top.
Shabby chic it is.
Yeah. Okay, so we're just going to keep ironing this on. The heat press is faster. That's one other reason I like using it. But if you don't have it, most people don't have it, so that's why I'm showing you this alternative. And you can kind of just look back over it and see that everything is stuck on there, you know? You could put this on a sewing machine if you wanted to and stitch around the outside, but you still need to fuse this stabilizer and make it stick to the fabric, okay? And you can kind of see places that it might be lifting up. The nice thing about burlap is that it can take a really hot cotton setting, and so you don't have to worry too much about what the heat's going to do to it. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, I'm trying to do some things that are a little bit different to challenge you in other areas. Now, we're going to be doing florals, don't get me wrong. But any chance I get to do something a little different, I like to do it.
Well, you did florals and pretty much florals only for a long time, and then you started venturing out.
I did. Okay, so there's a couple little spots that are still not fusing well. And in that case, you could actually put a little bit of glue if you wanted. And for whatever reason, it might be that the fusing on the stabilizer didn't get put on really well at the factory or something like that. But just put a little glue on it. Don't get all freaked out and throw away your project just because that one little spot didn't stay. Okay, so we're going to go around and trim that in a second. But you see, it's all ready to go, and it's stiff. It's nice and stiff. Okay, let's do the next one. This next one, I'm only going to stabilize the back. And I'm going to tell you why. Who thinks they know why I'm only going to stabilize the back? And David, if you'll get me my silk screen thing in my heat press.
The heat press itself?
I don't want the heat press, I just want the silk screen. That piece of fabric sitting in it.
Can I get it out?
Yeah, just lift that up. Okay, I only want one side of this to fuse.
That's not in my contract to do that.
So I've got this thing that came with my heat press. You can use a towel or something like that, but I don't want the this side to adhere to this. So I'm going to put this on top of a piece of fabric or something, because I don't want it sticking. Okay, here we go. This particular one is going to be because Bridget's right, Leanne's right. So Lynn asked, is the interfacing sticky on two sides? Yes, it is. It is sticky on both sides. Double face fusing. So this particular one we're going to stuff. Just go stuff it. There are a lot of things that you can do with this binding, with this fusible interfacing to stiffen up things. Like if you're making top hats and you want those top hats to be stiff, this is a great way to do that. Before you construct them, put them together, put some of this stuff with it. Okay. And again, if you get a little factory line set up, you could do several of these at a time, which is what Khalid taught us at Wreath Makers Live about doing things in mass producing your items. Remember to apply pressure. You want to apply some pressure to these to make sure they are going to stick. Okay? Now, remember what I said on the other side. If you get a little place that's not sticking really good, just give it a little bit of glue and go on about your day. Don't be all worried about it. Don't touch that glue. It's hot. Ask me how I know that. I think the reason some of this isn't sticking is it has to do with how much pressure I'm applying to the iron.
Linda Hand just joined.
Welcome, everybody. I'm so happy that you're here. And this does really work better on the heat press, but we're gonna just make it work on this because I know some of you don't have a heat press. Does anybody in our group have a heat press? If you do, I put my setting on about 350. Okay, now we're gonna put this on top, and we are gonna glue this side. Let me get rid of my ironing board. I'm gonna go ahead and just glue these edges. I'm gonna leave a little bit open at the top, about 5 inches up here at the top, so where we can stuff, or maybe even about 6 inches, because we're gonna put some stuffing in this sucker, and then we're gonna trim all this up so that it matches. All right, so let's just put some glue. This is a high temp glue, so I'm going to use something to not burn my fingers. And I have knitting needles that work really good. I've never knitted. I've crocheted, but never knit. I'm just going to work our way around. We're going to clean up these edges after we get going. What other shapes can you think of that you would do? Anyone? Come up with an idea? I know for Christmas, Hobby Lobby has big ornaments that would really look cute. And you could even paint an initial on these. Add some embellishments. Things like that. Anyone OCD in here having a fit because I haven't trimmed this up? Trim it, trim it. Yes, Leanne. How awesome would that be? I do have a rolling pin in my house. Since I don't use it to bake with, I ought to bring it out here.
You still know where it is?
Yes, smart Alec. Smarty, smarty.
You do cook good when you cook.
I do. Okay, so I'm going to leave that right there. Now, we could also staple this around because we're going to put an edging on it. So, yeah, a bat, a turkey, a ghost, lots fleur-de-lis. Lots of different ideas hitting on the feed, news feed, in the comments. Okay, let's go ahead and trim this up, just so. And remember, use your bad scissors, because this stuff it will ruin your good scissors. we're going to cover this edging with some rope, so I'm not too worried about any of this, but let's go ahead and trim it up. And I love the fact that it is a stiff pumpkin and it's going to have some body to it. When you put it on your door or when you sell it, it's not going to be wobbling around. Okay, we're going to stuff it now. You don't always have to use the polyfill. You can use Walmart bags. What? Excuse me? What? Are you kidding? Please tell me it's not so. Who would have ever thought? No need to go and buy a bunch of expensive polyfill when you can use free grocery bags. Because all we want is just a little bit of poof. You know, we don't want too much in there. We just want to have it kind of sticking up a little bit. Ellen's, what? So y'all start saving your bags. You know you save these anyway. We never do run out of these.
Nobody left the group when you started using the bags, so it wasn't a big sin.
Well, I just was trying to give you a way to save some money because polyfill can be a little bit pricey. And anything you can do to save a little bit on your supplies helps your bottom line so you make more money, right? Okay, so that's about good. I just wanted to get some poofiness. Yes, we are all about recycling here, upcycling. And I'm going to seal it up. Seal her up. I like that idea about the rolling pin.
Leanne Willis asked, could you use tissue paper as well?
The reason I wouldn't use tissue paper is because if it got moisture, but that's a good question. If you kept it nice and dry, I think it would be fine. But let's say, for instance, somehow you got some moisture in it or near it, then that paper may have a tendency to disintegrate. At least with the plastic bags, they're going to be repellents. Bridget picks up her dog poop. Oh, gosh.
I love Bridget. Just say whatever.
She's awesome.
My kind of person.
That's the way we're going to be in this group now. Y'all just let it all. Let's just be us. Be yourselves. I'm going to trim this one little place here where I glued it. How cute is this? I mean, it's already cute. I might need you to plug in my iPad. It looks like it's down to 35. My plug's right over there. This would be a perfect door piece for someone with a screen door or a nursing home, you know, where you don't want something that's just really large like a wreath. And of course it would be less expensive as well. Look how sweet that is.
Can it go there?
It can go there.
It won't be in the way?
No. Okay.
Kinda.
Well, can it go down?
No.
That's fine. Just let it charge.
Yeah, I think it'll go there. Is it charging? That's not a good place.
It was till you unplugged it.
Well, it was going to yank it out.
Okay, now here's one thing you can do on your.
Check your shot here. I hit it.
It's fine. You can cut a piece of brown felt if you want to do your stem. And this is just going to be a personal preference. If you want to stem it, if you want to put a little stem on it, just cut a piece of brown felt and glue that on there, okay? And I just use the stem itself as a pattern. So let's go ahead and put that on there. Yes, Jace, you could make it more poofy. Poof it to your heart's desire. Again, that's just going to be personal preference as to how you do it. Okay, so that one's done. Let me hold it up so you can see. What do you think? What do you think? You absolutely can make it more poofy if you want. All right, let's talk about the edging. And let's go up here. I have this rope. Somebody gave me this rope, or I got it from one of my kids or something. I don't even remember. But it's just, you can get this kind of rope at Hobby Lobby or at Lowe's or something, can't you?
Similar. I think that's more hobby looking type rope.
So I'm gonna edge this thing with this rope. Let me
Where did you get that?
I got it from Wade.
I think well, it depends on what kind you want to rope.
I've got that whole big box of it, remember? Okay, so I'm gonna let me give it a zoom here. Okay, I'm going to just glue this on. All right. Just on the edging. I'm gonna go all the way around. Hold it on there until it kind of sets. You could use any kind of braid or rickrack or anything like that. Or cord, decorative cording. I like kind of the rustic look of this rope. Get it right to the edge, okay? kind of finish off your project, make it look good. Can't wait to see all your door hangers that you're going to come up with. I love some of the suggestions about the ghost and the other things that you could cut out. Look how that just finishes off that edge. It makes it look so professional. Just gives it a little bit extra, like somebody took the time. If your customers would see this and they would think, oh, they really finished it off well and it made it look so nice. So far we've done this and we've not sewn anything. We are just gluing.
We've got great people here tonight from Kentucky, Virginia, Georgia, South Carolina, Texas.
I'm excited about this group. I know it's going to continue to grow. I like that we're starting out with a little bit of an intimate group, so you can kind of get to know one another, and some of you probably already know each other in other groups or whatever, but this is a beautiful beginning, and I thank each one of you for hopping on the Terry train in the creation station. And this train's going to take you a lot of different places. So, alright, I'm at the end, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that and just make them meet up, okay? But use any kind of rope that you prefer, or any kind of binding or decorative cords. You could go to the upholstery section of your fabric store, and sometimes they'll have some pretty embellishments that you could utilize. Now, once we get that part done, you can go back, and I see like right here, there's just a little bit of stuff sticking out that I want to trim up. So just clean up those edges in places if you need to. Remember, don't use your good scissors. This burlap will tear it up.
Carol Hilton just popped in our old.
Well, hello, Carol. All right, here's what we have so far. And now we're going to put the hanger on it, okay? Remember, this is the pumpkin that we stuffed. The other one's going to just be flat. I'm going to go ahead and trim this up a little. Okay. Here we go. All right, let's put a hanger on it. Let's see. They have this at Michael's. It's called, and they have it at Hobby Lobby too. It's just called decorative wire, and it comes in a spool like this. It comes in different colors. We're going to use this for our hanger. And this works really well for a hanger. find the end. It's very soft, so you can shape it and just kind of pull on it like so. Now, I have a hole punch like this, or you can use a regular hole punch, and we're gonna punch a hole at the top. Now, when you put your hanger on here, don't do it too close to the stem. We want to do it a little bit on the exterior right here at the curve where it's coming around. That way it's gonna hang the best for you. So you can either, well, I should have put a hole in it before, because that's not gonna go over it. Okay, let me use my trusty little pick thing. I'm just gonna poke a hole. No problem. Okay, right there. And let's do one right over here. Okay. So we're going to stick this through. Get a little bit closer. We're going to stick it through. Come out about 4 or 5 inches. And then wrap it around like this. And then take your needle nose pliers, grab the end of it, and just make a curl like that. Okay? Now get a good distance. Again, this is going to be personal preference as to how long you want your hanger to be. But just kind of give it a look and see. Let me measure this one and I'll kind of give you an idea of what this one's going to be. This one's going to be about 24 inches. But you can do any length that you want. Okay? So just cut it off. Bring it in. You can come through.
I wonder what you would do with the excess. I haven't, that's pretty cool.
Oh, on the ends?
When you curled it, I said,
Yeah, yeah.
Cut that.
And I'm going to
Part
smooth.
of the decoration.
Yeah, this is just a way to kind of secure it and make it cute. Now come back to your hanger here and smooth it out. If you really want to be fancy, you can put a bow on the top of this on your hanger. Looks cute. Or if you want just the hanger, you know, you can grab some different ribbons. Let me show you what that would kind of look like.
You're probably going to get to it later, but Dace is asking, how much would you sell something like this?
Probably between $45 and $55. You know, the material cost is very low. But look how cute this would be with a bow on it. So if you put a bow, even just right there, you wouldn't even need very much at all. Or just leave it the way it is. So that's just your own personality coming through when you get ready to go to that part. And add your embellishments that way. You can put your ribbon. You can paint an initial on here. And personalize. If you personalize this for your customer, you can charge more. Okay, so there's our pumpkin one. Remember, you can add a bow or leave it this way, or put some raffia on there and let it hang down. So let's kind of do this other one. This is the Halloween. You could also add some florals if you wanted. And this one kind of came up a little bit. But all you would do with this one is the same process that we did on the other one. You're going to add your rope. You're going to add your hanger. You're going to trim it up. Add a bow if you want to. And that's pretty much it. What I'm going to do is post these pictures in the group and show you them finished. There's no need for me to go through all of that gluing and putting the hanger on and all that, because you get that. You gals and guys are smart. So you could cut a green. I like that idea. Lee says, Leanne, you could put a green felt leaf and glue it at the base of the stem. I love that idea. So I want to challenge you to do your own pumpkin hangers or any other kind of shape. Post your pictures in the group. I want to see what you do. I'm going to finish these in the next few days, as far as putting the trim on this one and maybe putting a bow, just to give you an idea. And I want to see what you come up with as well. Okay? If you missed our live tonight, go back and watch the replay. And I'll put the name of this Pellon in the description for you, so you'll know what that is. Oh, yes, it would be pretty. Jace, if you put a terry bow on this thing, I would do it on row C, because the row D would be really too big. It'd be kind of overwhelming. Any questions?
You had a good group tonight.
Yeah, we did.
People were engaged. That's what I like.
I love it. And I love the ideas that spur. Just like Leanne with the cutting the green leaf. I love that idea too.
And our group coordinator, Jace, was doing a good job too.
Look, you could even, on the pumpkin, you could put black felt, like, and make a jack-o'-lantern. And that would be adorable on this too. Make a jack-o'-lantern face, and a jack-o'-lantern face and the teeth. How cute would that be? All right, I'm going to say goodnight. Dave's here. He's probably hungry.
That means I'm making a road trip.
Yeah. Well, you can have a sandwich. If you have any questions, please post them in the group. And the one thing I really want to encourage you to do is ask the questions in the group, because maybe somebody else has that same question, and that way if I answer in the group, then it'll be helpful to someone else. So post your questions in the group. I'm excited to see what you're going to do with these pumpkins and other shapes.